This video's made for adult collectors because you need to be an adult collector to handle this thing.
I can think of no better place to bury you.
On looks alone, this thing is so wonderful. In images, it looked like it was using the same proportions as the 301 because that one used the Bumblebee movie skeleton as far as I know. But this one in hand has more accurate film proportions, colors that match the grading from the film, and the posing to match. But there are still a couple of things that I find This is Lucky Cat's Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, and it looks great. And it was provided to me by TF Safari. They have a wide range of third-party and knockoff items on their site, sometimes official stuff too. I kind of wish they'd carry a little more. And they have this right now for $115, which honestly is pretty good for what you're getting. And they have a flash sale tab with more savings if you want. And if you use code THATTOYGUYSPECIAL, 3% off. Yeah, I know. You save a couple dollars on your order, which is always nice. So thank you very much for sponsoring this video. Now back to the actual toy. This thing has so much detail in it, and it's all the details I want to see. None of it has that weird 3P flat detailing. Well, for the most part. There's still a couple of areas where that does have an effect, but most of the areas have some nice sculpting throughout. And the colors are sort of flat, matted to look like the film, because the film, they weren't very shiny. And I kind of dig how this matches that. And the proportions. He has the long legs, short and wide torso, long arms. It's something that bugs me about most Rise of the Beast Primes, other than maybe YOLO Park, is that they get the proportions wrong. And while this isn't 100%, it's the closest I've seen to the film at this size. The thing that's iffy to me is the plastic. It feels fine for the most part. He has die cast in the front of the legs, thighs, knees, and chest. And the plastic on the lower legs, the feet, the lower arms and shoulders and upper torso, it all feels fine. But the mid-torso, thighs, and biceps, I don't know, something feels different and weird about them. Like, I know it's the same plastics used on most of the toy, but something about it just feels strange. It's hard to describe. It's not bad by any means, it just isn't amazing. And it also has some sharp bits every once in a while. And not to mention the paint also has that like chalky feel to it in a couple of areas because of the dry brush and wash that they put on it. It feels like a Warhammer mini that hasn't been clear coated. He comes with a lot of cool stuff though. You get his Bumblebee movie gun for reasons, which he can't hold very well. His axe, which is cool, but he can't hold very well. His sword, which can mount on his arm, and this absolutely massive cannon, which can mount on this arm specifically, using the same sword mount and having the hand in a very specific position. He has light up eyes and a cannon, but for the life of me, I cannot find the batteries. They've gone missing. I have a pack of 20 of them lying around, and I cannot find it, and I refuse to buy new ones because I know they're in the house somewhere. It's annoying. So he's packed with quite the posing, but there is some stuff that's a bit strange in how it works. Like things to do with the shoulders and all that, which I'll get into. But one of the things that I don't really like, at least on my copy, and this was fine until like I started recording, but this doesn't like pegging in super well now. Like it snaps into place, but if I have the back completely sat flush, it pops it out. So you have to have the back tilted ever so slightly forward like this to sort of get that shape that he has always got on his back there. It makes it look a tad bit funky from this angle, but like every other angle, it's fine. So the head is on a ball joint. You get some really nice tilt back and forth with that. You get some nice rotation. He can look up that far because it's on a hinge and a ball joint, and you can't really look down that much. The shoulders are interesting because they don't work like 102s where they have like the trigger happy hot rod style thing. Instead, you have to move this out of the way, and the shoulder can go out that far. It's a little bit stiff, but it can only go out that far. You do have an extra ratchet joint in here that can go up and down a little bit. You do have a tiny bit of butterfly, and you get a full rotation out of it. There is also a upper bicep swivel and a below, or the middle of the elbow swivel, because he does have double jointed elbows that can bend pretty much all the way, which is nice. He does have a ball joint at the not a ball joint. He does have a hinge and a swivel at the wrist, along with the thumb is fully articulated. And so are the fingers, and they also have a massive spread, so you can do that if you want to. Or you can do the whole traditional, fuck you, pose. And like I said, in the torso, he has an ab crunch that only goes about that far, but it does do the 3-0 thing of exposing more detail on the back, which is very nice. You do have a waist joint, which can do a full 360 degrees. Now here's where things start to get strange. I need to move the arms out of the way for this. The hips. So first of all, they're these big empty blocks devoid of detail, like they look terrible. but the hip skirts are on double hinges so that in ball joints. So they can pretty much get out of the way because there is no drop down hip on this guy. So the hips can go forward that far, and then the back flaps can move out of the way so they can go back that far. And then when you're going in and out, don't grab it from here and just pull the leg out. You want to grab it from up here, because if you notice, when I move this around, you can see the joint move away from the body. I don't like that construction. And so if you want to preserve the longevity of your figure, I highly recommend bending the hip from here, because that ratchet sounds like ass. Ugh, but they can go in and out. You do have a thigh rotation, though it is a little bit limited. The knees, you have a full 180-degree bend there at the knee. Ugh, bring that up. And then the ankles can go down and up a little bit. You do have a toe bend. You have an ankle tilt, a second ankle tilt above that, and rotation. So he's very posable. It's just some of the construction of the joints is weird, and I don't really like much how the shoulders work. I wish the ratchets and the hips weren't as strong. They don't really need to be that strong. I mean, this stands up pretty fine. It doesn't have ratchets in the hips. So it is a bit strange, but it's not terrible. It's still fun to pose, and he can do a lot. So yeah, he's a pretty good robot. A couple of things I don't really like, but for the most part, it's still pretty damn good. So seeing as this is an MPM style conversion, you'd think it'd be complicated. And it kind of is up here, but it's nowhere near as complicated as, say, this guy, right? You can't even see him, he's so big. It actually borrows a lot from 102 and 38. Because it's a third-party toy like this, of course it's gonna copy something like that. But it's still kind of neat to do. So to start with, we're going to just prep the hands, because I always forget to do this, so I'm gonna do it now. Get them all straightened out. So first thing we are going to do here is work on the legs. So to start with, come over here. Actually, the instructions tell you to fold the arms out forward, so we're gonna do that. You're gonna take these side skirt pieces here, and you're going to shift it forward and clip it in. There's a secondary tab that it's going to go into, and then rotate that up. Then we're going to come to the back of the leg here. You're going to open this panel up and fold it all the way up like that. Take this section, bring it up here, and it's going to peg into this up at the top. Get that hinge situated there. Then you want to bring the foot around 180 degrees, bend it inwards, and then you pull on the wheels, and you shift them out. You leave them like this. You bring this section out of here, rotate that forward, and that is going to peg into... The shaving of plastic just came off. Huh, I just realized something. Remember how I said in the articulation that this bumps into the hip skirt? Yeah, because I had this in the wrong position. This is supposed to be here in robot mode and here in alt mode. God damn it. Anyways, you then bring this up and peg that in. And then you bring the wheels around till this little bit is facing below that, and then you bring that in, you peg it into place, you rotate the foot around, peg that in, and then on the other side you fold out a tab. But I'm gonna do the other leg off camera. So once you have that all done, you're going to peg the legs together, and that's the back of the truck finished. It looks stupid. All right, let's do the upper body. This is where things get a little bit complicated and a little bit annoying. So to start with, what we are going to do is we are going to open up the chest. I'm gonna bring the arms down for now. Open the chest up. Come on, open up. There we go. And then you just take this front section here and unfold it. Bring it out, because it's on a slider, and then bend it down. There's his matrix, by the way. It comes with a matrix that I, for the life of me, cannot get out. Then we're going to take the back section, and you want to untab it from here, but you also want to untab it from here. So you bring this all out. We're struggling. There we go. Once you have that out, you're going to take the hip skirts and fold them up so that they're flat like that. Oh, that double hinge is so stiff. Now, we're gonna move the camera down. Now, what we're going to do is bring this section back and just sort of bring that down. You want to take the arms and just spread them out. Then, make sure that's bent down. We're going to do the 102/38 thing of rotating the upper torso around. Oh, there we go. I'm already sweating, but this is not, it's just the lights, man. Doing this in front of lights is insanely difficult. So once you have all that done, we are going to take this section here, shift it up on this double hinge, and then take these wheels and bring them out from inside the torso. There they are. Then take this whole entire torso and shift it in. It's on a slider. It's gonna slide in. You bring the wheels down and just sit him there. He looks like he's exploded. So leave the chest open. We are going to straighten out the grill. And then take the head here and untab this entire top assembly. From there, rotate the head up, take this section and bring it around 180 degrees, and then fold it back down, and it will peg into place. And so that's where the head's gonna sit in the alt mode. Then you want to continue folding the grill down and getting these pieces situated up here. This is going to tab into 2 tabs here and 1 tab here. So you get that all lined up and squeezed together. And you got the front of the truck, well basically, look at that, there's the front of the truck done. But what I like to do, just to make my life easier, is take these pieces here and bend them forward, because then they get out of the way of the arms, because the arms are a little annoying. They're the most annoying part of this figure. So we are going to take these, extend them out. Then you want to fold this panel up from the back and then bring this section down here, while also taking this gray piece and rotating it the other way so that it sits right there. Then you bring this down, bring that down, rotate the lower arm 180 degrees. Then you rotate this up, shift it in, rotate the hand. It's on a double hinge and it will shift down and into the vehicle body like that. And then you gotta 102 it into the truck. Now when you do this, there's a post right here, and that's gonna go into this. You have to make sure that's lined up, otherwise nothing will sit flush and it's very annoying. And then on top of that, you have to bring this section out, rotate this around, because this is going to peg into here. So let's fiddle with this now. And while simultaneously doing all this gets to slide in. So it's very annoying to get these arms situated properly. Got to make sure everything is lined up as perfectly as possible and the peg's not going into the right spot. There we are. Wow, would you look at that? It lined up pretty well. Then you take this section here, bring that out, collapse that in, and then this piece will go down here, all 102 like. Then you bring this piece around, flip into there, and then you bring the smokestack out, and that is one side of the truck done. So once you have that all done, now we're going to do the front. So you're going to take these pieces here and you're going to just fold them up, and these side panels here are going to go down. Then you're going to bring this section of the grill down, unfold that, and then that's going to go down here, and this will peg together. Then you take the windows, close them up, and something's not lined up. There we go. And that's your truck mode. So yeah, the transformation isn't the most fun thing in the world, but it's not horrible, leading to this truck that just kind of feels eh. The back is just the legs. Like, the back is easy to transform and it's fun, but it just looks like legs still. The front of the truck, though, is pretty bang on with the massive grille section and the silver bits all over it. The stripe is also nice and clean, too. He can't really roll, though. The wheels at the front are a bit squished up against the red flaps, and he has a lot of undercarriage. It is a pretty nice size, though. Everything locks together quite well and nothing wants to break apart, and everything securely tabs in. Like, overall, it's pretty good. Not amazing, but like, it's up there. I like messing with it a bit more than the Bumblebee movie Nemesis one from Magnificent Mecha. The truck, I think, is the weakest part, but the robot is pretty damn good, and the transformation, minus fitting the arms in, is not bad. I would recommend it if you're looking for a good, like, DLX/MPM sized Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beast that transforms. Because it is pretty good for what you're getting, like, for the $115. But that's my look at Lucky Cat's Rise of the Beast Optimus. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.